Alright guys, here we are. Got a new RO purchased from Mazurek Syrup Supplies here in Michigan. And I purchased the 1000 series dual membrane. And we're going to go over some setup stuff that I feel is important and not covered very well in the handy dandy notebook they give you. So I'll do a walk around on it real quick. When you get it, you'll have to wire in your switch. It does not come pre-wired because they obviously don't know how you're going to do it. I've seen the newer models actually have an exterior box here. This one just went directly into the switch. So there's a little bit of variance in there. But what we have here is it comes through the high pressure pump in through here. So your flow goes down, comes over, and your flow goes up and out and through there. And what they show in the book is very misleading. Let me get this out here for you. It shows just arrows going down. It doesn't show flow anywhere on here. So if you're curious, the flow goes like this over there, because that is important due to on these membranes you got flow direction. One thing they also don't say is the gaskets both need to go at the top no matter what the flow direction is. And these are a U-shaped gasket, which they actually do show, but in case you don't know, the gasket is actually the U gasket that they talk about in here, which they actually show right here. Vessel number 1, the U needs to be facing up. Vessel number 2, it needs to be facing down. So you actually have to physically take it off of the membrane and make sure your flow on your membrane is correct, going with the flow. And then also make sure that the O-ring on top is correctly for your vessel. So we'll do that right now real quick. Okay, so we are working on vessel number 2. It shows the O-ring facing down, the U facing down. We make sure we got our flow right. There's our flow. Had to take this off. It was actually down here on this part. Take it off, and our O-ring is facing down. So we're going to install this now. Okay, it is installed. I simply just set it down very, very slowly and let it rest in there and make sure it's seated. One thing to bring up, if you look down in here, you see that silver looking piece with the gap in it here at like 5 o'clock? There's a gap. That's actually a PVC spacer ring. Make sure that is in there and at the bottom, because your membrane will fit on that and seat on that for a nice seal. Make sure those are in there. This one actually came from the factory without them, and that was why I was having a slight bit of a leak, and that's why we're going through this process here as well, to show you guys. And also didn't realize about the O-rings it showed here at the top. So just trying to make a video to help. Alright, we're going to focus on number 1 vessel now. Facing up is what they want. Okay, flow. O-ring facing up. Sorry guys, trying to do this by myself here. Alright, I'll show you. Just let it drop a little bit, push down, seated. Now you just make sure these are well greased. They'll come with grease. Center it on there. Just seat it firmly. Just like so. Then you got these rings to put on, which I'll put on next. Okay, there we go. When you tighten these down, these little marks right here, you want to tighten them right down to that. Don't over tighten them. Don't let them underlap each other. You want them perfectly touching. You're tight. So that is the membrane installation part that you'll have to do when you first purchase this. And the things to look for, watch for, and to know your flow direction and which way those O-rings go. Because here in the book, it is pretty vague, other than it shows the O-rings, and it shows the O-rings here at the top. But it doesn't show flow direction on your membranes, which arrow down, arrow up on your flow. So there's step one. We'll go out, hook it up, and run it to show you how to prime it and get it going and go from there.